Praise the Lord, I'm alive. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ranch Street. We've been doing music a lot over here, and today I decided that I wanted to do a cooking video, and I'm gonna make what I call ramen. I'm gonna show you guys step by step how I make my ramen. It's pretty good, my family really likes it, but today I'm only making a serving for me, and I wanted to show you guys how I do it. So if you like videos like this, don't hesitate to hit that like button, don't hesitate to comment, don't hesitate to subscribe and join the fam. But anyway, let's get started. So for ingredients, I use parsley, Mrs. Dash, onion powder, chicken broth, a cup of noodles, and some Texas Pete. For the inside ingredients, I use cabbage, carrots, onions, and some bacon. I usually use regular bacon, but my dad bought me cooked bacon, so you can use either or. Now I'm gonna start pouring in the chicken broth. I only pour it into about that first little indent in the pot, and I use that, and then I go over and get some water, and I fill the water up not full and not half full, but a little under. And this is for when it starts to boil. I'm gonna add a little bit now, and then we're gonna add some later. You'll see. I'm gonna turn the eye up to number 8, and then we're gonna let that sit for a little while. And now to add our spices, we put in Texas Pete hot sauce. You can use any hot sauce. This is just what my grandma has. You add about 4 or 5 dashes of that in there. I don't want it spicy, but I do want it to have a little kick. And then I stir that so it can mix with the chicken broth and water. Next, we add Mrs. Dash. You can use seasoned salt, Mrs. Dash. I use Mrs. Dash because this one is salt free. I don't like adding a lot of salt. It's already sodium in the chicken broth, but you add about 3 dashes of that. You add onion powder. I only put about 3 or 4 drops of that in. And then I put the lid on and let that simmer. And while that's simmering, I go ahead and get my cabbage and I start to cut that away. I don't use a lot of cabbage since it's only me, but I cut them into smaller pieces for flavor. Cabbage is really good with ramen. I very much use this a lot. I'm greedy, so yeah, this might seem a lot to some people, but I'm gonna eat it all. Next, we're gonna cut up the onion. I definitely don't use a lot of onion either since I added onion powder, but I do like the actual onion to add just as much flavor. I cut it into squares, but I only cut it once. When I cook for my family, I use a bigger onion, but since it's just me, let's just use a little bit. I don't need too many onions. And this is a white onion for anyone who wants to know. Yellow ones make it a little sweet, and that mixes well with the cabbage as well. Next, as I told you, my dad bought me already cooked bacon and regular bacon, and I decided to just use the cooked for today. You can use either or. It tastes pretty much the same. I cut them into little sections, and there's not too much info that I need to tell you about the bacon. It's just bacon. Smithfield makes good bacon. And next we have carrots. I love adding carrots to my ramen. when the broth and stuff softens the carrots up, it is very much my favorite. I love vegetables, period, but carrots in my ramen is the absolute best. I just cut them in little circles. I also use the shredded carrots sometimes, but I just had these and that's fine. Whatever works. And here is a close-up of the ingredients cut up: the cabbage, carrots, onions, and bacon. And I'm gonna go ahead and add those to the broth. Why did I say it like that? I do not know. Next, I'm going to stir these and allow all the ingredients to sit in the broth to add the best flavor. If you know this, cabbage soaks up whatever liquid that you cook it in, so it's gonna be a good burst of flavor when you bite into the ingredients. Also, I like to wash my dishes as I go to be more efficient. I like to, when I'm done and putting everything up, I like to eat immediately, so I wash as I go along. So this is me washing the plate that I used to cut the ingredients and the knife that I used. So yeah, I feel like this makes my cleaning speed up. I always clean while I'm cooking. I cannot help it, it's habit, but I would highly recommend it. Now I'm going to stir once again. It's simmering a little. I allow these ingredients to cook for 4 to 5 minutes. Right now I'm adding pepper because I like that to add spice just as much as the hot sauce would at the beginning. But yes, I cook these for 4 to 5 minutes before I add the noodles. Next, I'm gonna add the last little bit of water because it was boiling a little and that allowed the water to calm down, I think. And then I turn the eye down to 5 or medium in the middle. And I'm gonna let that sit a little bit more. I put on a tank top, you guys, so I would not make anyone uncomfortable. I do have rolls, but I love my body, so yeah. I'm gonna add 2 dashes of parsley right here. I always add the parsley before I put the noodles, and this is just a regular cup of chicken noodle, or chicken, what I call chicken flavored ramen, but I do make this ramen the way I like it. I am not by any means Asian. That's why I made a disclaimer at the beginning. This is how I cook it. My family still calls these cups oodles and noodles, but me and my dad been calling them ramen for my whole life. But yeah, this is what I do. I'm putting the cup of noodles into the broth now. All right, throw your trash away, Ran. Here I'm just showing you a clip of me when I put it in. I allow it to sit there and then I wait a few minutes and push it down and allow all the noodles to simmer in the broth. As you can see, the water level looks low, so I am about to add the last and final little bit of water. And then I allow it to simmer for another 4 to 5 minutes. And now I'm just going to taste the broth to see if I need to add any more spices or anything to it. It was good. I usually do the same movements every time I cook, so I didn't expect it to need anything else. But I almost forgot an ingredient, the egg. This is me adding the final ingredient to my ramen. I put an egg in it. It's my favorite. It's so good. And this is me just putting pepper over the egg, and then I allowed this to boil like that for 5 more minutes. And now we add it to our chicken bowl. We're just about ready to eat, but I put the broth in at the bottom, and then I do this movement where I stir and pull the noodles towards me so my egg doesn't get lost and it ends up on top. But then I just get as much of the leftover pieces in the bowl as possible, and it does not overflow if you're cooking for one person. And look at that deliciousness. When I tell you guys, oh my gosh, delicioso. And now I'm once again washing the dishes for this video to be over. I have to wash the dishes. I was struggling with that spoon, y'all saw that? But yeah, I'm just washing them up so I can just get to eating. I do this while it's in the bowl so it can cool down a little too, so everything works. Scrap, 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 scrap. Rinse, 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 rinse. And there you have it. That is how I cook my ramen, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope God continues to pile blessings upon blessings upon blessings in your life. And I love you guys so, 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 so much. Peace out.